So when the media can't nail Trump for the corruption of investing $90 in hydroxychloroquine, they are going after the health effects of hydroxychloroquine itself. So at Trump's daily press briefing, where he's his own press secretary, they asked him about this yesterday, about the side effects, about how we shouldn't be so quick to administer this drug to dying patients. Here is the reporter.
With millions of pills of hydroxychloroquine donated, is there a plan or system in place to track the potential side effects?
Well, you saw the representative.
Serious harm. So is there a plan to track the side effects?
The side effects are the least of it. You have people dying all over the place.
So you know that this is already going to be some unfair questioning, because she gets the question out, hey, are you guys tracking the side effects of this drug? And then President Trump starts to answer, and she keeps interrupting him. And the side effects, and the side effects, and there are going to be all these side effects. Because they're so upset, they're so crestfallen that the drug is working. They're so upset that people are getting better. Because then it can't be Trump's fault, and Trump can't be responsible for killing 1 million people. Drats! They were sure they were going to get him this time. The Russia thing didn't work, and the taxes didn't work, and the Ukraine thing, remember that? They impeached him over Ukraine in a phone call. That didn't work. But they're going to get him. He's going to kill 1 million people. Then we'll really get him. Drats, foiled again because he's promoting a drug that's working. So now all they've got left is they say, what about the side effects? And President Trump gives what I think is the perfect answer to it. He gives the answer not merely in scientific and medical terms, but in narrative terms.
A woman last night, I watched her on one of the shows, good show, Laura, and she thought she was dead. She was a representative from Michigan. She was just in horrible shape for 12 days, 14 days. She thought she was dead. I think she said that her doctor said it's going to be very tough. She saw me talking about this, and she asked her husband to go to the drugstore. Now, this is a Democrat representative, a person that, perhaps wouldn't be voting for me. I think she'll be voting for me now, even if she's a Democrat, even if she's a Democrat representative. He gave it to her. Now, it's I don't say it works like this at all. 4 hours later, she awoke, and she said, I feel better. And then shortly thereafter, she felt great. This is a woman that thought she was going to die. Her manner of speaking, the way she told the story was beautiful. I asked my husband to go and get it. He got it. She is now okay.
So he goes on, but I think you get the point. President Trump is flipping the left's narrative on them. The left's narrative this whole time, from Andy Cuomo to Zeke Emanuel to the experts to the media to the politicians, if you oppose them, you want people to die. That's what they're saying. If you even so much as question what they're doing, you want people to die. If you oppose shutting down the global economy, you want people to die. If you oppose arresting people for leaving their homes, you want people to die. Now they've gone even further. They say if you support giving people access to the medicine that'll save their lives, you want people to die because of hypothetical side effects or something that don't even exist. Or New York Times, right, just yesterday was talking about how if you support giving people this medicine, you want other people to die because there is a hypothetical shortage of the medicine for people who have lupus, even though there's no evidence of that shortage at all. None of that is true, but that is the narrative they're pushing out. So Donald Trump, master of narrative, flips the narrative on its head. He says, if you oppose giving people this drug, then you want people to die. And he picked probably the perfect character to destroy the left wing's narrative here, because we're talking about a Democratic politician. This was a Democratic representative who was on death's door and then takes the drug and now is all better. Not just a Democratic representative, a woman. Not just a Democratic woman, a Democratic black woman. I mean, it checks every intersectional box that the left talks about all the time with identity politics. So now Trump is saying, if you oppose giving people this medicine, you want a black, female, Democratic politician to die. And I won't let that happen, not on my watch. This is the right attitude. This is how we've got to start speaking. We like to play by all the proper rules. Marquess of Queensberry rules, totally fair, above board, no punches below the belt. The left punches below the belt. The left demagogues. The left emotionally manipulates. Now, we should be better than the left, but we've got to be able to counter their narratives as well. Trump showed us a great way how to do that. He was pretty brutal in this press briefing all around. This is one of the hallmarks of it. You see these motifs coming back in all the press briefings. He'll talk about the cure and the drug and giving people some hope. He'll talk about how serious it is, so we can't just reopen tomorrow. He'll then humiliate one reporter. He humiliates one reporter every single day. And yesterday, that reporter was a young man who asked about how this is all affecting the price of oil and what our energy response is going to be to this. So the kid barely gets his question out before President Trump corners him and asks him a simple question, a question, unfortunately, that he couldn't answer. What's the price of oil?
Hey, just checking on oil again today. I was wondering if...
Oil?
Yeah.
Where is it today?
Well, I was wondering if you...
No, where's the price? Give me the price.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
How can you ask a question when you don't know the price?
I'll look it up for you.
Okay, let me do somebody else then. Go ahead.
Oh, that's so brutal. That is so humiliating. I don't know who that reporter is. He might be a perfectly nice guy. He might have just been having a bad day and he made the unlucky mistake of not preparing for that one part of the question. Trump has got to keep this up. This was great. Because, look, I don't want to be unfair to this reporter. He might have just not looked up the number beforehand. He should have known. If he says, I was just checking on oil and I want to ask you about oil, and Trump said, okay, well, what's the price? It's pretty important information if you want me to give you my answer on oil. And he says, I don't know. He's got to keep the reporters on their toes. First, it puts the reporters on the defensive, and it discourages unfair questions. If the reporters know that he's going to grill them, then they're not going to be so loose with their questions. You know, it's actually the same justification that we have for having the reporters in the first place. We have reporters ask tough questions so that we keep the politicians on their toes. But the politicians need to be tough too, otherwise the reporters are going to take advantage. That's the first reason. Second reason is it shows to everybody out here that contrary to the media narrative, President Trump actually knows a lot more about what's going on than all these media people who are condescending to him and who are criticizing him and who are mocking him. What this shows, when it's just him and the reporters, unvarnished, live TV, it shows that Trump knows a lot more than our self-appointed elites in the mainstream media do. You don't get that when you just watch pre-recorded left-wing cable news. You don't get that when you just read the New York Times. But live, unvarnished on TV, you do see that. And it's why it's important for Donald Trump to humiliate these reporters on occasion. He's got to do it fairly, and this was a fair way to do it. But the press comes out there every day and tries to unfairly humiliate Trump. And so Trump's got to give it back to them, and then the people can decide. If you enjoyed that video, and let's be honest, of course you did. I hope you did. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so everyone wading through the wasteland of YouTube knows that we have the best content out there.